England. The organiser of one of the most well-known public carol sessions in London has cancelled it because of concerns about public safety at the Christmas market on Columbia Road. It said that around 7,000 people attended last week's seasonal sing-along, which takes place every Wednesday in December. On Monday, Bethnal Green Street Peter's Church announced that the event scheduled for December 13 and 20 will not proceed. Poland. The Speaker of Poland's parliament expelled a far-right legislator after he extinguished Hanukkah candles in the chamber using a fire extinguisher, sparking anger. He then stood at the chamber platform and called Hanukkah satanic, declaring that he was bringing normalcy back. Austria. A 16-year-old juvenile has been placed under arrest on suspicion of organizing an assault on a Vienna synagogue. Several electronic data carriers were taken into custody when his home was searched. Authorities also discovered video and picture materials that included how-to guides for building guns, ammo, and bombs. Netherlands. On Tuesday, the Dutch counter-terrorism agency raised the nation's threat alert to its second highest level, stating that there is now a «substantial» chance of an attack. The announcement came a week after Ylva Johansson, the Home Affairs Commissioner for the European Union, warned that the continent faces a «huge risk of terrorist attacks» over the Christmas holiday period due to the fallout from the war between Israel and the Palestinian militant group Hamas. This was the first time the threat level has been this high since the end of 2019. Sweden. Prosecutors are looking into an elevator disaster that occurred on Monday at a construction site outside of Stockholm that claimed the lives of 5 persons. The technical examination of the scene and the effort to identify every deceased person are still ongoing, according to the authorities. Canada. A man from Canada is accused of helping over 12 young people in the province of Ontario commit suicide by mailing them poison. He faces 14 charges of second-degree murder. The 58-year-old Kenneth Law was previously accused of 14 charges of counseling or encouraging suicide. Law allegedly posted over 160 sodium nitrite shipments to Canadians and shipped at least 1,200 items to addresses in more than 40 nations, according to the police. Mexico. Authorities in Mexico City stated that 3 little earthquakes occurred on Tuesday morning, however no immediate reports of damage were made. One of the earthquakes, according to the authorities, had a magnitude of 3, its epicenter lying inside Mexico City's boundaries at a relatively shallow depth of just 1 kilometer. Las Vegas. 2 adults and 2 young children are dead, while a third child was injured in an apparent murder-suicide in Las Vegas. The victims include 2 unidentified children who were under the age of 14, an adult woman, and the suspected shooter, who reportedly was on house arrest. Brazil. A U.S. citizen accused of trying to stab his girlfriend and a taxi driver in Brazil's northeastern city of Salvador jumped to his death from a hotel room on Tuesday while police attempted to arrest him. The American was accused of other crimes in March this year and had stayed at the hotel with false documents, making it difficult to locate him, police said. The stabbings took place on Sunday in an upscale part of Salvador, police said, adding that the American had cut his hair in an attempt to disguise his identity. Nearly 1,000 seals and sea lions in southern Brazil have died from bird flu outbreaks, say authorities, who are scrambling to isolate the deadly virus from commercial poultry flocks. The southernmost state of Rio Grande do Sul has confirmed an unprecedented 942 sea mammal deaths following infection by the highly pathogenic avian influenza (HPAI), which was reported for the first time ever in the South American country this year. Oceanographer Silvina Bada, at the Rio Grande Federal University, FURG, said the carcasses have to be buried or incinerated as soon as possible to reduce the risk of contaminating humans or other animals. Nigeria. The Nigerian striker Victor Osimhen has been named African Footballer of the Year after beating Mohamed Salah to the award at a ceremony in Marrakesh on Monday, with compatriot Asisat Oshoala winning the top prize in the women's category. Kenya. Visitors to Kenya from across the world will no longer require a visa from January, President William Ruto said on Tuesday. Ruto said his government had developed a digital platform to ensure all visitors would receive an electronic travel authorization in advance, instead of needing to apply for a visa. Japan. A Japanese court on Tuesday convicted 3 former soldiers in a sexual assault case that authorities had dropped until the victim, a former service member, came forward demanding a reinvestigation and prompting a military-wide harassment probe. The Fukushima District Court sentenced them to 2 years in prison but suspended the sentences for 4 years, meaning they won't actually serve time. Myanmar. Myanmar has become the world's largest source of opium, thanks to domestic instability and a decline in cultivation in Afghanistan, the United Nations said in a report on Tuesday. The 95% decline in opium cultivation in Afghanistan after a drug ban by the Taliban in 2022 has seen global supply shifted to Myanmar, where political, social and economic instability brought about by a 2021 coup drove many to poppy farming. Australia. The northeastern Australian cities of Cairns and Port Douglas were readying on December 12 for the arrival of tropical cyclone Jasper, which is expected to bring destructive winds and flash floods. The Category 2 storm has been slowly churning across the Coral Sea, with the core of the cyclone expected to hit Australia's eastern coast at around 1 p.m. on December 13. Meteorologists have predicted winds of 140 km per hour, heavy rain and possible storm tides. Adelaide. A top doctor has died in hospital after a violent home invasion, with police confident of apprehending multiple suspects at large. Michael Young, 61, was transferred to the Royal Adelaide Hospital in a critical condition on Tuesday morning after he was attacked in his home at Gilberton in Adelaide's inner north on Monday. Late Tuesday afternoon, Interim Chief Executive Officer of the Royal Adelaide Hospital Rebecca Graham confirmed Young had passed away.